Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to be talking all about the James Charles and Morphe Artistry palette. We're going to be diving into the shades. We're going to be diving into basically everything. I will be inserting 2 tutorials that I did on looks from this palette, and I'm going to be giving you a full in-depth review. I've noticed that a lot of people who did this review picked up the palette, opened it up, swatched some shades, and then used like 3 or 4 of them, and then told you their complete thoughts. And honestly, I wanted to be a little more thorough than that. So I did use this palette now for 10 days straight. I have used pretty much every shade in the palette. So this is not just a first impressions, this is actually a full-on review of the entire palette. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload twice a week, and that is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So without further ado, let's jump right into the Artistry palette from James Charles and unleash our inner artist. So some of the details on the palette: it does retail for $39. It comes with 39 beautiful shades. The layout of the palette is very similar to the holiday collection last year, the 39A Dare to Create, where you get 7 shades down the middle of your most used shades, which here would be anything you need to do a warm tone smoky look, your black and your white. And then you have your rainbow section as well as your like everyday warm tone section that everybody else typically tends to stick to. So first I'm going to insert my tutorials first. So some of the things that I've noticed with this palette is that some of the shades are pressed a little more than they probably should be. So what that means is, for example, this shade right here, the first 2 times I used it, it was a little dusty, it was a little powdery, but it did end up blending out. I did notice that the 3rd, 4th, 5th time I used it, I had no issues. So a lot of them I think are just pressed a little bit, and as you take your brush and you're dipping it in the pan and you're kind of loosening up that pigment, it's definitely making things blend a little easier and go on with a little bit more of like a smooth pigmentation. But other than that, everything seems to work really, really well. I know James did mention in his unboxing review video, or his announcement, that's the word, in his palette announcement, that some of these shades are not actually eyeshadows, but they are pressed pigments, and they do need to be packed on as opposed to fluffed on. And I did notice that to be the case. What I think right now, though, there are only 2 issues I have with this palette. The first, these 2 shades are very, very similar, and I don't think you need both. And that leads to the second issue, and that is there are 2 shades missing from this palette. So you get a beautiful coppery shimmer, you get a champagne shimmer, you get a frosty shimmer, you get a very flattering face highlight that you can actually take as a beautiful, like, off gold on the lid. But the 2 shades I feel are missing are a true metallic gold as well as a metallic silver. People like me who do love our cool tones, like I did take the frosty blues, but I did wish that I had the option to go in with a super vibrant, like, silver. Those are literally the only shades missing, and I know James said that this is like everything you will need to create pretty much any look. And he's not entirely wrong, but I do feel that this would have benefited severely from a super, like, true gold and a very foiled silver. So as you can kind of tell, based on how this entire video is going, this palette is definitely a hit for me. I did include it in my monthly favorites for the month because I have been using it for the sake of the review, but I know now that the review is over, I'm going to continue to love it. It definitely takes a little bit of work to get used to some of these shades, and it does need a little extra love compared to like a palette you could just open up and dip into, but honestly, for the price point, the amount of shades you get, and honestly, the size of these middle pans, this is absolutely worth every single cent. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and let me know down below, did you get this palette? And if so, what are you thinking? And second off, let me know if there's any colors you want to see me use or any specific looks you want to see out of this palette, because I would love to dip into this again for a video and show you guys something that maybe you guys want to see. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!